Tight. Hold my baby squid, keep him out of sight. Talking about my life, government stay away. Watch me drive, I'ma do it my own way. Squid in the ocean, swimming all alone. Ain't nobody telling me where to go. Living free, gotta stay true to myself. No need for interference from anyone else. Squid pro quo, that's the way to be. Living on my terms, setting myself free. Mama to my baby, protecting with my no government intrusion. I control my life.
Hey everybody, it's Squid. Welcome back to my channel. Let's fucking go, shall we? Let's pop the top on this bitch. Oh my goodness. Oh, and Jeffrey, I promise, I just posted it in the Discord server in Squid's upcoming lives. I promise I will be doing better. We had a couple of new members to the Discord yesterday, and that is making me want to do better because I've kind of been slacking on the Discord server lately, and I promise I will do better. Trying to do better. Y'all, I just want to say thank you so much to Greta for purchasing something off of Baby Squid's birthday list. I got it today in the mail. I didn't even realize that anybody had ordered something. But I will be wrapping that up and giving it to her for her birthday. I will be doing a separate, like, hey, these are your YouTube people's gifts, and separate from family. She's and I did get my panels that they're the cheap ones. But they actually like look decent and fit decent. So, and they're flat. So, other stuff was taken back. I did leave my garage door open with the big old box and the UPS label hanging or on it, so that hopefully when the UPS guy drives by today, he will see that, hey, the thing is here for you to take. And please take it. Rickles, happy July, yes, and happy Freedom Month. Real 7 times I called it today, and still 3 orders to drop off or close the business. The courts, they're gonna squirm like never before. Have a great day. Okay, I have to check those. We have a couple of. Oh, okay. We have a couple of other cases to talk about, and then we will be, if we have time, talking about those. If not, we will do it tomorrow. Duncan, Idaho, celebrating 9 months of membership. I'm certain I could have convicted Kohlberger. Yeah, I was watching something from Court TV this morning, and Vinny Politan, I always say his last name wrong, and I apologize. He was pissed. So the quick update, I don't have an article on it or anything, but Brian Kohlberger in the Idaho 4, the suspect in the Idaho 4 took a plea deal for 4 consecutive life in prison terms with no possibility of parole and no appeals, which takes the death penalty off the table. One of the families posted that they were not happy. However, I was discussing it with Mama Squid this morning, and some people in the comment section made a really good point. One woman in the comment section to Court TV said that her roommate was unalived in their house in 1988 in Tennessee, got the death penalty, and 37 years later, that person is still alive in Gen Pop. He is not on death row. And there's been so many appeals that the state of Tennessee has paid for. However, the death penalty is off the table. He will never be getting out. He will never see the light of day, and he has to admit guilt. So the families don't have to go through a trial, and also don't have to hear about what was done to their children. Because at the end of the day, that sucks. Pizza? Pizza? Yeah. No, we're not having pizza. We had pork chops for lunch. That's what we had. All right. And then, well, I can't tell time either. I set the stream for 1:30 and I was here at like 1:35. So, hey, Rainbow Pickle. Been a while and happy Canada Day. Oh, yes, it is Canada Day. Little one, what are we doing? Hi. Hi, beautiful. Yes. Yeah. It seems like, and somebody else made a really good comment about the fact that criminals are the biggest cowards. They take plea deals to save their own life, but they don't care about anybody else's. Honk. Okay. Hey. Hey. Okay, we will check that out. I did want to talk about a couple of cases first, before we go check that out, and I will redirect myself to a different stream. However, I have a couple of new cases that I heard about that I really want to talk about, and some updates in a couple of cases that we have talked about on this channel before. So, trigger warning for this one. This is a Florida case. Girl. I'm not letting you step on him and play because you're going to fall and bust your face. One of these days, you're going to, like, run into some kids and you're going to hit them and they're going to hit you back. No, wait. Well, that's what happens when you hit me. I take it away. Oh. Well, you got a couple extra months. I can post those links. I want to talk about the Exorcism Mom. Trigger warning on this one. This does involve the unaliving of a 6-year-old child. What we know, Florida mom charged with son's unaliving claimed God told her to exorcise demons. And I have seen the body cam footage from this. I have not, don't have proof, or I don't have a copy of the body cam footage, but I have seen it. 41-year-old Treasure Coast mother was arrested on May 30th on second-degree murder and other charges after her 6-year-old son was found dead in their Fort Pierce, Florida home. Rhonda Pollinice was visited on May 30th by sheriff's officials for a welfare check after her son, Raymond Pierre, hadn't been in attendance at his school since May 14th. When she was encountered by deputies outside her home, she told them that she suffocated him while he was in bed on May 18th, trying to rid him of an enemy spirit, according to her arrest affidavit. She acknowledged that she knew he had passed away and that she freed him of a spirit he had in him. The report states she made reference to resetting her life, and she stated she was put in a position where she had to take her son's life. Oh, it gets weirder. Just wait. Rickles, you're awesome. I will check my email in a second. Me thinks the Florida heat makes people cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I don't disagree. Yes, this is, we have to go talk to Mo because between yesterday's case and this case, I'm going to need to borrow her wood chipper and all the Lord Chippy attendants that she has on staff. Because yeah, mental health is a serious issue in this country, and this is why. In the body cam footage, she is calm as a cucumber. She is just chilling outside her house, and the sheriff deputy asks her, is her son in the house? And she's like, yeah, he's in there. Authorities say she suffocated him, moved his body to another bed, and placed his favorite blanket on him and around his head. Here's what we know. Florida mom performs exorcism on her son. She told St. Lucie County Sheriff's investigators she put her hand over his mouth and started suffocating him when he was kicking and screaming in bed. She knew her son had been unalived, and she freed him of a spirit he had in him. Reports say she claimed God the Father told her what to do, and when she resisted, he'd make her pay. However, she did not elaborate further on those statements. Reports say she saw changes in him, in his behavior, believed him to be controlled by a spirit. He's 6. It's called an attitude. He's 6. He's a 6-year-old boy. I don't know if y'all have been around children lately, but they got attitudes. And it changes from minute to minute, day to day. One day they're great kids, and the next day they're a little nightmare. Almost one would almost joke, devil child. She stated she would be kept awake at night by dreams from God telling her events which were going to occur. She said she checked on him daily and blew warm air on his face and looked for signs of life. She literally thought he was going to come back to life. Body cam footage. Body camera footage released by the sheriff's office shows a deputy exiting his vehicle and asking a woman in sunglasses and a hooded sweatshirt with the hood pulled over her head in Florida in May. In Florida. If insomnia was an evil spirit, I'd be yeah. If there's something. And I know Florida is more open with their court documents, so things get put on display a little bit more because the documents are easily available. However, shit, man, just what the hell? When she confirmed, the deputy said he was there to speak to her, and if she had a child, which she confirmed. He said the child had not been seen in school since May 14th, and the school doesn't know what's going on with him. Here's where it gets crazy, because the mindset. Oh, he's going back to school. At this point, he was already unalived. So she had... When the deputy called it truancy, she asked what that was. He said she could get in trouble for it. If you don't get in contact with the school right now to inform them of what's going on, they're going to send you to court. Oh, if you only knew at that point in time. Yeah, and here I thought Wisconsin was a true crime. Yeah, of the North. Of the North. So Wisconsin is the serial killer headlines. Minnesota is where people are just little loosey-goosey. Illinois is where people are assholes. And Michigan, they just don't care. I don't know. I heard about this yesterday. I was watching something and I heard about it, and I'm like, I have to talk about this because in addition to the hot car case from yesterday, I'm going to need to borrow Mo's Lord Chippy and all the attendants because this chick is next in line. And the expert, hey Jim Rat, how are you? Milwaukee is worse than Chicago. Well, you know, not like I've been there or anything. Oh my goodness. She said that she would call his teacher. The deputy asked to see her identification and then asked if he could see if her son was home. He follows her to her front door and she asks him inside, which is where the video ends. Reports say the deputy found the boy. Like, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Like, the fact that she unalived him every day, checked for signs of life, like he was going to mysteriously come back to life, and wasn't even ashamed of what she did, didn't think she did anything wrong. I'm not a lawyer by any means. But if anybody is going to claim an insanity defense, this one might actually work. Just a thought. I don't know Florida's statutes on that, but if you watch the body cam, which I don't have right now because I wanted to go through some of these cases quickly. Ay, 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 ay. Yeah, 6-year-old boy. This was back in May. Mother suffocated him to get the evil spirit out of him. Checked for signs of life every day. Had no problems with letting the sheriff's deputy into her home. And told the sheriff that he was going back to school. Yeah, I'm not trying to diagnose anything. I am if I go back to college, I'm 3 credits away from a minor in psychology, which is like 7 classes. So I have this psychology background and education, and once again, when you work in a hospital, you can take the phys rehab out of mental health, but you can't take the mental health out of phys rehab. I saw my fair share of crazies. However, no, she's the Florida Taylor Schabusiness. She's the mother version of Taylor Schabusiness. So it's a thing. So trigger warning on that one. I will be following this. Oh, Chris, thank you for the 20 pound gift for baby squid. Thank you. It's going into her birthday fund. So, or new clothes fund, because she's hitting that 3T clothing. Let me go into my studio and actually open up where I can see the chat. My criticism of Streamlabs is the chat sucks. And you know I like talking to you guys. You derail me all the time. Which is one of the reasons that I'm trying not to talk. Yeah. Squid for that one. That is out of my control. Yeah, and my ex was a master's of social work with psychology minor, and yep, ex. Yeah, even working in a hospital and just working with not in a psych unit. Although I did have a psych rotation in college. That was fun. That was fun. Flash fan, if it was your puppy, it wouldn't be a problem. But the fact that you got left with a puppy that's not yours for reasons out of your control, that's a different thing. But he's a cute puppy. On that note, moving on to the next one. We have, oh boy. And here's another one that I was going to record a video about, but since I'm doing a short update show, I just was going to add it to here, save me time later. Even though I need to get my ass in gear and start recording more videos, summer is not the time. Someone did not give us a puppy. So 3 Awesome Dogs is trying to convince me to get a puppy for the little. So, here we go. This is out of South Carolina, and this is another one I will be paying attention to because this is literally only a couple hours from my house. Yeah. 6 illegal immigrants shared chilling messages after slaying South Carolina woman. So, once again, not to get political, however, we have another case of people who shouldn't have been here to begin with, doing things that they shouldn't be doing to people who had no. It's a Lake and Riley all over again. Except this time, where's the outrage? Because when you see the victim, you'll wonder where the hypocrisy is with some politicians and some activists. Because where's the outrage? Because that's where my question is. Lancaster County, South Carolina. New details have emerged in the tragic unaliving of 40-year-old Larisha Thompson, who was shot and killed last month by a group of 6 illegal immigrants. Authorities have now revealed additional information about the suspect's chilling plans and violent encounter that led to her death, including disturbing text messages shared by the suspects after the murder, according to the Post-Millennial. Here we go. And I know about this particular article I have not read, but I do know plenty about this case. It has made the local news here. Yeah. And I'm not going to read their names because fuck them. They don't deserve it. They also disclosed the alleged weapon had been used in an armed robbery just days earlier, and that all 6 individuals have now officially been charged with both the murder and the robbery. Federal immigration, here's the ages: 21, 18, 17, 13, 14, and 15. So when they say, oh, they're just kids looking for a better life, I give you Exhibit A. And it only takes one bad apple to ruin the bunch. Federal immigration officials have confirmed that all 6 are in the country illegally. Deputies with the Lancaster Sheriff's Office have responded to the call on Friday night and found Thompson dead in her car, which was stopped in the middle of a rural road. Investigators say the suspects had been prowling the area looking to rob someone and surrounded Thompson's vehicle as she drove by. That's where the 21-year-old allegedly opened fire. This is the only, and I hate to be gruesome, but this is the only positive thing, because she was not found for hours. This right here, the instantaneousness of it, I can only hope that she did not suffer. But new information presented during a court hearing in May revealed that 5 of the suspects exchanged text messages in the aftermath of the murder that displayed a blatant lack of remorse for the victim. The group wrote phrases like "mission fail" and "this is just the beginning," showing a shocking disregard for human life. Sheriff's Office Deputy Justin Wieland revealed investigators linked the weapon used in the shooting to a burglary at the Van Wyck Market that took place just days before Thompson's killing. A SWAT team later executed a search warrant at his home, where they seized the 9mm handgun believed to be used in both crimes. All 6 suspects are now charged with murder, attempted armed robbery, and second-degree burglary. Prosecutors, the sad part about it is, from the reports I've heard in other articles, they didn't take shit from her car. Make it make sense. Prosecutors have announced plans to try the 3 teenagers as adults alongside the 3 older suspects. The first one, who investigators say fired the fatal shots, faces extra charges for possessing a firearm as an illegal alien. Miss Thompson was going about her business Friday night, not bothering anyone. All of a sudden, these 6 men and boys, out to get something for nothing from someone they did not know and had no business bothering, pulled alongside her car and opened fire, killing her. There's no place in our society for acts like this or the people who commit them. My hope is that these 6 are never again among us. Oh, this right here, knowing that South Carolina, this right here leads me to believe they're going for something. Just a thought. Yeah. Wasn't Ibarra in North Carolina? No, he was in, I think he was in Florida and then came up here from Florida. Either that or I have to look back into that. I remember this in a, yeah. Yeah, I like people who say they're not breaking any laws. They're here illegally. They broke the law to be here. Yeah, by definition. Not that I'm aware of. However, I haven't looked this is the first time I've looked for a new article in about a week. Ugh. Yeah, may she rest in peace. This is where I'm gonna get her thumbnail is her picture is in the thumbnail. Sheriff Barry Fell said in a statement on the case, these new details highlight the cold-blooded planning that went into the senseless crime. They've also served as a grim reminder of the dangers posed by illegal immigrants who come into our communities and commit violent acts. And yes, playing devil's advocate, people here suck too. Let's be honest, there are plenty of people that live in this country that suck just as bad. However, yeah, your daughter's not the only one. Yeah, daughter's not the only one, if you know what I mean. If you know, you know. While the legal process continues, Thompson's family and the wider community are left grappling with the pain and loss of an innocent life stolen in an act of calculated brutality. The increase in violent crime linked to illegal immigrants across South Carolina has played a role in the increased demand for bulletproof vests for first responders throughout the state. And just think, this was written June 6th. This was written before the Idaho incident. So and it wasn't updated. So yeah, it wasn't updated. So there's that. But I will look up a picture of her just so you guys can see and ask where the outrage is. Where is Black Lives Matter for this one? I mean, somebody explain to me. Like I said, and generally don't want to get political unless I state that this is a political stream. However, this right here, y'all know I hate hypocrites. I hate hypocrisy. I hate people who have selective outrage. Where's the outrage for her? Where's the protests for her? It's their... That's right there. Yeah. I mean, let's just take a moment to let that sink in. Of Flash fan, I do not disagree with you. What did Malcolm X say? The difference between a black or a white liberal and a white conservative is the white liberal makes you think like they're your friends. And there's a couple of colorful language words in there that I'm just not going to say because, you know. But yeah, I did when I saw this. I was originally angry at the fact that another person was just senselessly unalived for no reason by people who shouldn't have been here in the first place. And then I saw her picture and I heard her name and I'm like, and the fact that she was a mom, and I got pissed. And I'm just using my tiny little platform to let people know that, I'm pissed. And why I'm pissed. Here, let's all be pissed about this together. And we are not going to go into it too much. However, I do have all the documents for Exorcism Mom. We will be following this case pretty closely. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a full believer in there's a reason that both Malcolm X and MLK Jr. were removed from this earth before their time, because they both had they both had some very good points that a lot of people don't want to get out there. And I believed a lot of people wanted to keep them, or I believe a lot of people wanted to silence them and keep what they had to say because they were speaking the truth. And I don't believe with everything Malcolm X said and the way he said it. However, he does have a lot of points. And like I was telling somebody else, and I always say, I don't have to like somebody as a person, and we don't have to be buddies to think that they're intelligent and they bring up good points. Like President Trump and I would we ever be like drinking buddies? Would we ever be friends? Probably not. Our personalities are just a little too different. However, do I have to like somebody's personality to admit that they're good at their job? No. Yep, that's my next one. We're getting there. There is that's the next one. I do have the surveillance footage. Well, I don't have the surveillance footage. We're going to read an article about it. Florida or Texas is really hard with getting documents. However, they did let some reporters see the footage. And he's now claiming that he's indigent. And there is a creator named Jumpsuit Pablo. If you do not follow him, he is he says it like it is. He is an ex-con who has been in prison for a long time. I don't know exactly what he did. I didn't ask. He didn't tell. However, he Flash fan, you remember that conversation that you and I had about certain gangs in prison system not liking Carmelo Anthony? The AB doesn't like him for obvious reasons, and the black gangs apparently don't like him either, because apparently, and this is what was said by him, I am not an expert in gang life. I'm not an expert in prison life and culture. I know people. I have very close friends who have spent some time behind bars, but that's it. Like I have a friend that I've known since I was 2 who has spent some time behind bars. My good friend's brother is behind bars, but however, non-violent stuff. And this is he apparently claimed to be part of a gang when he's not. And apparently gangs don't like that very much. Shocker, right? What's up, Angel? You want that? Okay, bring it here. I have to go open a snack container for her. I will be right back before she gets angry and throws it at me. All right. Thank you for your patience. She's just, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Like, good. Good for you. Is that the one out of, I know MS-13, but that's the one out of, was it Argentina? Can't remember. All right. Frisco Independent School District has released surveillance footage of a stabbing incident. Everybody knows about that. Under Texas open records laws, requesters may view such a video in some cases, but are not permitted to record it. So nobody has been able to show it on the stream. Basically, reporters are just watching it and then reporting on what they saw. So, yeah. Venezuela. Okay. I know there's another one. There's another one that I heard about, but I can't remember where they're from. The video begins several minutes before the altercation, before the two boys, camera positioned near the press box, captures half the field at Kukendall Stadium. The tent where the incident occurred is located in the bleachers near the 50-yard line. Due to the camera's distance, individuals are not easily identifiable. At approximately 9:55 a.m., a sudden movement is seen under the tent, followed by an interaction between two figures. Frisco ISD officials say the movement is the stabbing occurring. Several people are seen walking or running away while others approach the area. Emergency response begins. Minutes later, an ambulance arrives, entering through the gate near the end zone and driving to the 50-yard line. Paramedics appear to realize that they cannot reach Metcalf, who's in the bleachers, with the stretcher, and they return it to the end zone and carrying it into the stands. So we read through, I'm not going to go through all of this, but we read through the arrest affidavit, so we heard all of this. But that's the first time that we've found out that this actual stabbing incident has been filmed. And the fact that an interaction between two figures, that doesn't seem like there was a fight beforehand. So I don't know about y'all, but that makes kind of the self-defense go out the window. I'm just, not that I believed self-defense to begin with. However, self-defense is a hard thing to prove. And now it's an even harder thing to prove when there was no fight between the two of them before this. A sudden movement and an interaction of two figures. That's it. The judge. Here's the interesting part, and I brought it up on my phone, but I didn't bring it up in on my computer. The judge that has been assigned to this case is a very law and order type of judge. He has his own website because he's up for re-election. But so we're gonna go over his little website, and this is his re-election website. I am not endorsing nor anything this person. We're just looking over his qualifications to see what our little buddy Carmelo is in for, because he might be in for a yeah. The judge that reduced Carmelo Anthony's bond was woke, female, looked like she could easily be influenced by people threatening her. This dude doesn't look like he's going to be threatened by shit. No, he's not black. And Flash Fan, the way it works is in this district, from what I've read and heard, it's just whatever judge is up next. There's no like this case is assigned to you because you've held high profile cases before and you can handle the stuff, or it's like next on the docket, next case, next judge up. It's completely random. However, yep, he's a white conservative. Very law and order. And being a white conservative has nothing to do with the fact that the suspect is black. Being a white conservative-ish woman myself, it's the fact of like he's a very, like I am, a law and order. You break the law, you can't prove it with self-defense. This is my, like, I'm not taking any crap from anybody. I'm not going to be influenced by protesters outside my courthouse or someone trying to threaten my life. None of that. None of that stuff. So he's and take this with a grain of salt because this is his re-election website, so all of this is going to be spun to make him look a little better. However, this is the most comprehensive information on his background that I was able to find. So I asked that question because I read that Ito got O.J. Simpson case, so he would have a diverse judge. The way Texas works, or the jurisdiction that he's in, is just next case up, next judge that has time. If there's no there's no diversity, like it's a luck of the draw, which is kind of the way it works around here. Yeah, round robin is how they do who gets what case. It's completely random, which is honestly the way it should be, because then there's no if it's random, there's no bias, because anybody could take anything, and if you spin it the right way. And wanting to be a lawyer when I was a kid and liking to argue, if you didn't realize that one, I like to argue. Shocker, right? Technicalities, and you can spin anything. It's like being on a debate team. You can spin anything you want to make it fit your narrative. And the fact that it's round robin and completely random, nobody can spin it on either side. Angel, do you want mommy's? Mommy, mine's right here. You want my water? All right, so we're just gonna kind of skim over this. He developed a mental health managed counseling program. Yes. You got some on your shirt? Yeah. Oh, it's okay. We just go like that, and Mommy will vacuum it up when we're done. Itchy. Itchy? Come here. Scratch your back. Is that better? Yeah. Okay. Love you. Bye. Bye. Which develops specific protocols in handling criminal cases involving mentally ill defendants. This is not applicable to this case, but he was instrumental and is applying for and receiving a 4-year matching grant from the Texas Indigent Defense Commission. Once the 4-year grant had expired, the efficiency and cost savings the program had for Collin County were so significant, the program has now been established as its own department in Collin County. The program has received recognition throughout the country and is the model for how counties handle cases involving the mentally ill. Hey, hose picker. How are you? Yeah, judge skin color. People in general should not see skin color, in my humble opinion. Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I go by what your personality is, and what you look like is just okay. That's what you look like. He is a professor at SMU, where he taught graduate students in the areas of commercial litigation and business law, employment law. Oh, Bruce, you might want to take note. and personal injury law. The graduates of his program receive a Master's of Arts degree in alternative dispute resolution. Interesting. Alternative dispute resolution. People might want to take note. Judge Roach has also been an adjunct professor at the University of North Texas College of Law in Dallas, where he taught law students about alternative dispute resolution processes. Becoming a judge was not Judge Roach's first involvement in public service. He was elected to 2 terms in the Plano City Council, former president of the ARP Crisis Center of Collin County, served as Plano Education Foundation Board, Collin County Bond Committee. This dude is not playing. Junior League Family Violence Committee, volunteer campaign manager for Plano bond election and the Arts Center of Collin County. I mean, this dude is, yeah. I came just in time for the mentally ill. It's okay, I've been called worse. Yeah. I break from time to time. It's probably a YouTube thing. It's been happening lately. I haven't had the issue with the names in chat, but I have had issues with the breaking. But it could be just my rural internet and the fact that it's gonna rain. So there's that too. He and his wife are both lawyers. Yeah. He's also is licensed to practice before the Supreme Court of the United States. Yeah. Good. Hypothetically, if Squidlet got a puppy, what kind would you choose? I don't know. You'd have to talk to her father about that. He's here we go. Here we go. Judge Roach was a member of the United States Marine Corps Reserves from 1988 to 1996. Placed on active duty during Desert Shield, Desert Storm. He receives the the ketchup and mustard stain. Everybody gets the ketchup and mustard stain. Everybody gets a ketchup and mustard stain. And the Good Conduct Medal, which only takes 3 years. As a Marine, he was crash, fire, and rescue specialist and an EMT. I mean, he's conservative and an athlete. Dude ain't taking, dude doesn't look like he's the type to be intimidated. I'm just saying. So all these people that are going to go out and protest, that I have a feeling are going to go out and protest, he is not the, I don't think he's going to be the type to be pushed around very easily. So there's that. Y'all, I might have to push the hail stuff till tomorrow because we do have a couple of Laura Owens documents too. So yeah. I'm just so the state has this has been out for a while, for a month. It's Arizona Supreme Court's petition for review. I'm not going to read that because that's David Gingriss's just nope. You second a puppy for baby squid. Yeah, good old mouth hugs lady. There has been a couple of documents posted, and I'm just going to go over one of them because but we also have a Sarah Boone update. So the Sarah Boone update is super fast. I just have to actually open the document because I was trying to clean up my computer and I closed it. And I So on the 13th, this is the Sarah Boone update. Nope. Flash fan. She has 20 days. So this was filed June 13th in Orange County. Nothing is still on the Court of Appeals website the last time I looked, or nothing that's able to be viewed by the public. By order of the court, within 20 days from the date of this order, appellant shall serve an initial brief or alternatively file a response that shows cause why this appeal should not be dismissed for failing to timely serve an initial brief. If appellant fails to timely comply with this order, this case may be dismissed without further notice or opportunity to be heard. Florida rules for appellate procedure 9.410. So she has not filed her appeal yet. And 20 days is not tomorrow, but Thursday. So we shall see if Sarah Boone actually ever gets to even file an appeal. Because sorry, Sarah, shit doesn't wait for you. And you know she's going to throw a shit fit. But look who this was still sent to. Someone who doesn't have a practicing law or a law practice anymore. Who's not a practicing attorney. So I don't know. He shut down his law firm. This was his swan song, apparently. I don't know. So there's that. Suitcase Sarah. Yeah, Saint AT1 that said Saint Sarah of the Samsonite. I mean, I just... Huh. This was filed. Come on. This is only 3 pages. They're going to go over this super quick. State's allegation of aggravating circumstances. State of Arizona versus Laura Michelle Owens. Oh, that is so satisfying to say. How satisfying. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, she's dumb. Yeah, she's dumb. Sarah Boone needs Alan Jackson. No, she does not. No, she does not. Supposedly, no, lawyers never completely retire. That, yeah, tell that to someone someone with a little too much Botox. Speaking of Botox, I haven't gotten it yet, and I'm not going to. We're going to see how this serum works out. But my FU line is going away. My go F yourself line. So, meh. But we'll see. We'll see if it stays that way or if I have to resort to Botox. But I do. If I need to resort to Botox, we're gonna need to get our grift done, and I'm not good at that. All right, State of Arizona by and through undersigned counsel, pursuant to Arizona Statute 13-701, alleges the following aggravating circumstances exist in this case. If the state determines if additional aggravating circumstances apply, the state will file a subsequent allegation of aggravating circumstances. The offense involving the presence of an accomplice. That is the one that I found what? And who would they be talking about? The defendant committed the offense as a consideration for the receipt or in the expectation of the receipt or anything of pecuniary value. Just Jay, that's how you say pecuniary. I know he's asleep this morning, but I went into his members only this morning, and I mentioned the fact that Baby Squid tried to say pecuniary, and he couldn't even say it. Our Arizona Revised Statute 13-701D6. And we went through a couple months ago, we went through what those statutes were. The offenses caused physical or emotional or financial harm to the victim, or if the victim died as a result of the conduct of the defendant, caused emotional or financial harm to the victim's immediate family. I hope so. I don't think so, but I hope she is found guilty of what she's charged with. Because she will pull a Sarah Boone, and this will go all the way to the trial. I will not, yeah, I said the P word, pecuniary. The defendant testified or will testify falsely at trial or another court proceeding. State v. McDonald, from 1987. There is evidence of prior acts of the defendant for which the defendant was not convicted. The defendant has past bad conduct, even though that conduct may not have been or did not result in a conviction. And all of these documents come from the Justice for Clayton website. So give them some love because they have been working hard. Arizona is not a state where you can get documents online. Arizona is a state where you have to actually go in person. So there are people who have always, from the inception of this case, no pun intended, or conception of this case, gone and got documents and posted them online for the world to see. Because I wouldn't have access to these because I know nobody who lives in Arizona except the people who run documents. There is a need to protect future victims from the defendant, State v. McEwen. Finally, if the jury convicts the defendant of multiple felony counts or defendant has felony convictions that are not within 10 years immediately preceding the date of the offense, the state alleges these multiple convictions as an aggravating circumstance. Submitted June 25th of 25. Rachel Mitchell. Just, I have to make sure I download these things, so bear with me. Owens. All right, so we will go through. Let me hide this for just a second. One more thing. Oh. Do. And this is just a state's notice of disclosure. Hey, Spawn Trooper. I have a complaint. YouTube did not send me the memo, and neither did I. You were editing, so I didn't. Hey, Gabby. How are you? I actually posted in Discord 2 times today. I'm just I actually posted my workout, and I posted my stream. So this is the disclosure, state's notice of disclosure and request for disclosure. Like I said, I'm not a lawyer. The expert's the closest thing I have to a friend who's a lawyer. And we, I just learn. I just like to learn. I just like to read and I like to talk. So here we are. I am getting better. Getting better at what? My voice sounds almost back to normal. Oh, and
Hey, you.
somebody's home early. Who's home early? Daddy's home. Hey. Who's home? Daddy.
You have a good day.
Thank you. I feel a lot better. All right, these witnesses. Here's the interesting one. Uh-oh. Hey, babe. The chat is saying that baby girl needs a puppy. I'm not. They are. I'm pretty sure there was an eye roll attached to that. So her mom. And I don't know who some of these people are, but this will be interesting. What is that supposed to be? Gingras, and they just spelled it wrong. I plead the 4.5. Yep. Girl's first love. Daddy. She's such a daddy's girl. It's so funny. It's so cute. Daddy. Dr. Medchill. Oh, I can't wait for this. So these are all our witnesses. Mike Maritini. Dave Neal. Her dad. If her dad can even, like, Christopher Scott. Oh, this should be, this should be, Greg Woodnick. This should be, interesting, to say the least. Oh, yes, Daddy's Princess. All right, guys. This is pretty much all I have for today. I will come back in probably 5 minutes with the updates for everybody's favorite case. So give me a minute. I'm going to start a new stream. That way I don't have to do editing and try to separate them out. Or edit it out and people get confused that it's not a live video. I am going to check my email right now, that the files. Oh, yay. Let's see. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. All right. See you guys in a bit. I will make a new thumbnail as we speak and be there in a few minutes. Bye, guys. Oh, I sent 2 with the files and 1 with the entries on the docket. Thanks. Oh. Bye, Flash Fan. And you have a stream at 4 on your Discord server. So I will see you guys in a few minutes. Bye.